Hey guys, another edition of Off the Top Rope here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. I haven't really chimed in a lot on the WWE releases that have happened recently. Obviously, some high profile names were cut. Um, really, like I'm not going to get knee deep into like the Giovanni Vinci's, Blair Davenport's, Electra Lopez's of the world. They're all talented performers. It's just unfortunate. Like this is what happens when you run a big wrestling company, and whether it's financial or just they didn't have anything from them, it just was not working out. And these are very talented people, and I really am sad for them. But I want to use that as a jumping off point for what's going on in AEW because what should have happened months ago happened, and for three major performers who are probably all going to end up in WWE, or I'd say at least two out of three of them are probably going to end up in WWE. But Ricky Starks, by all accounts and by multiple reports, he is now free and he is a free agent. Miro, the former Rusev, is now a free agent, even which is amazing. He hasn't competed in a wrestling match on AEW television since December of 2023. World's End against Andrade, who's now in the other place. And then Aleister Black, the former Malachi Black, which has been known for a while. Obviously, you've seen they're now renamed the Hounds of Hell with Buddy Matthews and Brody King. So they've renamed that. The House of Black is no more. But all three of these names, interestingly enough, after all the releases happen, this becomes public news. And what that tells me is Tony Khan just saw the right opportunity. Hey, it's a great opportunity for me to just slip this underneath the rug and just kind of news dump it and just be like, hey, everybody's shitting on WWE for all the releases that they made, even though, let's be real. Are you guys really irritated by any of the WWE departures? I would honestly, they really did Giovanni Vinci dirty, and I liked Electra Lopez. I think there was more to gain with her. Blair Davenport really got screwed. But let's be real. This wasn't like, were any of these honestly shocking to you? None of them. None of them. Like they could have been used better, but it's not like Seth Rollins or CM Punk or, some massive name got fired. It's like, let's call it what it is. This is what happens in any job. And I'm not defending it. I hate this part. I hate when people lose their jobs. And I hope that everybody who has lost their job lands on their feet somewhere. And if I've forgotten names of the releases, because like I said, I really don't want to dwell too much on this, but because that's not really the big point of this. The point of this is how AEW has been conducting their business, specifically in the last year. Because to hold on to Miro, to hold on to Ricky Starks specifically, Ricky Starks hasn't competed in a match and been on television for AEW in almost a calendar year, which is ridiculous in my opinion. That guy is one of the most talented people in professional wrestling. If you had nothing for him, let him go. What's the harm in there? If he goes to the other place, so what? You had creative differences. It happens. But to hold on to these guys, and Aleister Black was in and out for a while, it just didn't work there. Miro, same thing. If you don't have anything for these guys, what are you doing? What are you holding on to these guys for? So, if anything, I'm more mad at AEW for the way that they conducted their business. What WWE did, this is standard operating procedure. We were more mad about this during COVID because it was Vince McMahon doing this type of stuff. But like I said, a lot of these names were not featured very prominently on television. And Giovanni Vinci is one of those unique cases, and Blair Davenport being a call-up, and, Electra Lopez was, kind of featured prominently with Legado del Fantasma. But none of these were like difference makers. We're talking like Ricky Starks. We're talking Miro. These were high-profile names that were brought in as big-time names in your company and just disappeared off television. Also, Wardlow's still out there. Why is he still hiding? Like, if you don't have anything for these people, let them go. And in some ways, hey, WWE is admitting to you, fair or not, that they're like, hey, we don't have anything for you. Go find work somewhere else. It sucks that they lost their jobs, but these are very talented people. I would not doubt for a second that some of these people would end up in TNA. So AEW might scoop some of these people up because Tony Khan just wants to hire anybody under the sun. I just saw the other day that the former Elias now known as Elijah's in Ring of Honor. Good for him. Good for him. I am all for people getting new opportunities. Obviously, the nature of people getting fired and getting laid off, that sucks. But, some of these people are probably thinking to themselves, hey, yeah, even though I'm making good money, I'd like to be featured on television more. Or I'd like to be doing more. Not be hanging backstage and catering and not being brought to TV. And that's what Tony Khan was doing for weeks on end with Miro, Ricky Starks. I could keep going down the list. Alistair Black, Malachi Black. There was nothing for these guys to do. So if anything, I'm more mad at AEW for the way that they've done their business. I think we're mad at the wrong people. Everybody was going off on WWE people saying man, how could you release these people? How could you do this? Yes, the releases suck, okay? But in some ways, I'm seeing it through a different lens in that, hey, in some ways, for so many of these talented people working at the top level of this organization, when you're not on television, that means you're not getting featured. That's not, yes, you may be getting paid, but it's like it's not good for your career if you're just being held backstage. You want to showcase your talents. So that's just the way I see it. I think AEW was doing more of a disservice to the wrestling business than what WWE was. And I used to think the other way about this, that just firing people off, but with so many places to work now, it's almost better that you just let these people go if you don't have anything for them, rather than just holding them away and preventing them, giving them an opportunity to work and do what they love. That's the most important thing, right? Is working, not just holding somebody back to prevent this. This is different from when you get laid off in your job. When you're working hard and you ultimately get laid off, that sucks. These people were not being featured on television, whether it was creative differences or they just didn't have something for them. That's the way it went. You got to give them an opportunity to work. So that's why I'm mad more at Tony Khan and AEW for how they conducted themselves during this time. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.